age. She's like a little car rat or something.
Okay. Let's go ahead and call a meeting to order. It's Tuesday, September 19th, 2017. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Minutes and reports received and filed.
I have August 2017 collector file.
Commissioner Committee Liaison Reports, upcoming meetings and events.
Board of Realtors Political Economic Responsibility Commission meeting this afternoon. Campo Board of Directors meeting tomorrow. Eastside Business Association barbecue tomorrow night. Friends of the NRA banquet Thursday night. Chamber Connections Thursday night. Wardsville rummage sales this week, so avoid the area unless you're looking for a deal. Some used garments.
That staff
Oh.
members actually, and I thought they were there, but it doesn't change anything really. But
Got some new ones in.
that's pretty much yeah, they're helping cars out.
No guns?
I'm sure they'll be around.
Cole County flu shots on Thursday. And basically, I'm spending all my time moving into my new house, so anyway, that's all I got.
We're gonna have a housewarming party
Yeah.
afterwards?
Yeah, you gotta bring booze though.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Today we got the News Tribune United Way Barbecue, and if we buy enough, Jeff will deliver them over here. I think. The ad says you deliver for so many, but that's what Janet Owsley said Jeff would deliver. I got Cap Region Board meeting tonight, Legends Bank Board meeting tomorrow, Thursday I got an LU meeting. We've got that West Central Commissioners meeting in Harrisonville, but I had already regretted that I wasn't going, so. Flu shots. Friday morning, we're meeting a constituent. Saturday's LU's homecoming parade,
Oh, yeah.
and then their homecoming game. So,
Tailgate at the link.
yep. So that's all I've got. Presentation from staff, consultants, invited guests, Pioneer Trails crosswalk discussion. Kurt Mueller.
Yep. Morning.
Morning.
Morning, Kurt.
Morning.
I can kind of start off and then let Kurt explain a little more from the school's standpoint. But Kurt Mueller's with the Jefferson City School District, and out at Pioneer Trail School, they received a few concerns from some of the new residents in the newer constructed homes to the north of the school, Paradigm Drive. That's one of the newer roads out there being developed. And the concern was getting across Pioneer Trail Drive during kind of what I would say the peak hours, right before school, right after school. And so they came to Public Works and asked to discuss some options out here. And Kurt, feel free to chime in anytime. Sure. But what we looked at is, how do you get them across safely? And really, you need a crosswalk. Few options. One we looked at could be what we call maybe a mid-block crossing, more right in front of school. It would require some construction work to be done on the north side of the road involving sidewalk and other odds and ends. And we discussed that and probably figured at this time that might not be a real practical option to expect that to happen right away. But maybe in the interim, a good solution would be a crossing down at the intersection of Paradigm and Pioneer Trail Drive, which would still connect to school property. And I don't know if you guys got a copy of that. I just sent it this morning. Debbie, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, up there, okay, cool.
Can't get your hard.
Some hard copies too.
Okay. It's back on the screen there, but this would be, what I would maybe recommend is kind of an interim solution right now, and then look at possible funding in the future to do some work on actually to put a sidewalk on the north side and maybe tie it in with Paradigm Drive. Now that would be, I would recommend at this time maybe look at some grant funding through the MoDOT enhancements for additional, what we used to call Safe Routes to Schools projects. Now that money's not available like it used to be. It's still there, but in a larger pot of money. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. And Kurt, do you want to maybe expand upon the citizen concerns that you had and explain that a little bit more?
Sure, yeah, that about says it all about the nature of our request for your consideration. Some parents had voiced some concern with the school staff at Pioneer Trail about their children, and they being residents in that development and getting their kids to school, and the challenge for them with no sidewalks on that north side, getting across. And from our perspective as school staff, we do have school staff present at arrival and dismissal. School starts at 8:15 in the morning, ends at 3:15 in the afternoon every day. And of course, it's busy prior to and just after that. Heavy amount of traffic during those times, because obviously as a Cole County school, our only Cole County school, a lot of drivers, car riders we call them, arrive at school. That's Pioneer Trail is our largest elementary school in the district. We have about 550 students there currently. And so our staff has also recognized, a couple of our staff members that are on Pioneer Trail during arrival and dismissal, they've recognized it's a bit of a challenge for them not only just to manage kids, buses, and car riders, but the pedestrians that we have coming across and trying to manage that. And we came to Eric for some guidance on maybe how a crosswalk could possibly, a dedicated location to get and direct guide folks across Pioneer Trail Drive to school, how that might help things. So he's been terrific to work with for us and give us some ideas, some practical ideas on what might work there on Pioneer Trail Drive.
Do they have school safety patrol like what we used to do, where you had the kids with the stop sign?
Right, we do.
Do they use those?
Yes, we do.
So they could.
That's potential. Mainly we manage that with our staff.
Okay.
Just because of the sheer volume of car riders, the vehicle traffic there, it's an experience. It's the military has nothing on the Jefferson City Public Schools because they move a lot of people in cars at the beginning and end of the day.
Yeah.
So I guess, I think Chris had mentioned earlier, maybe this needs to go to the Traffic and Safety Committee just to get their approval. In hindsight, maybe we should have taken it to them first, but it really kind of evolved kind of quickly at the beginning of the school year, so didn't have time to get it in front of that. But we'll make that step, and maybe we'll discuss if we can do this on the interim, do it ahead of time, and then get their approval afterwards, or if it needs to actually go through them. But we'll work through that. But I don't know, is there any feedback from the commission on this? Any thoughts about future funding for additional sidewalk and safety enhancements out there for the children? I'm assuming your all's position would be that we'd want to try to look at some grant funding that might be out there for that.
Yeah, I think I'd look to see what you can find.
Okay. We can pursue that with the help of the school district.
So is there any other sidewalks in that entire subdivision at all?
Yes, not shown on this sheet, what you see there, but if you look to the left of the
So is there some on Settlers Ridge?
To the west, there is the development built on Settlers Ridge, New Frontier Drive, Covered Wagon Road. There might be another one in there. That all has sidewalk on one side of the road. Not required by a county. The developer elected to do that. As well as just east of the roundabout, there's a townhome type development there, and that has sidewalk on one side as well. And then Rainbow Drive, we built the project to do sidewalk, and then it comes down, and this arrow doesn't show it, but we do have sidewalk on the south side of the road all the way through. Unfortunately, the developer elected not to do sidewalk on Paradigm Drive and all that north of there. And like I said, we don't have anything we don't have any ordinance requiring any of that with development in the planning and subdivision regulations, so.
So is there?
We certainly recognize that the development obviously is growing, so just our expectations in the future, in the very near future, is we're probably going to get more students from the development that are going to be pedestrians.
So is there on-street parking on Paradigm then as well?
By, I guess, regulations, it's allowed because of the width of the road. Pioneer Trail Drive, there is a no parking during school days, I believe. Kurt, you know for sure. I think it's
On the drive itself.
basically in front of the school property, there's no parking on Paradigm or on Pioneer Trail.
I mean, obviously, I'm concerned about the kids' safety, but I mean, once we get them across the street, if they have to walk out into the street to get to where they're going, there's a safety issue there too. So
Right.
without sidewalks for them to travel to and from home, you know, so I see both sides, but anyway.
I think if we were gonna look at doing a sidewalk on the north side, if you could somehow pick them up there at the intersection at the radius there, then run them across in front of the school and then cross them there, that'd be the most ideal, but that'd take a pretty big effort to get that done. We have to bid a project and, you know, several $1,000s to do that we of course don't have budgeted, and it would probably need to be designed as well, so.
And I don't know if this is helpful, excuse me, Eric, I don't know if this is helpful, but so you understand our arrival dismissal routine, we route car riders down the Wilderness Court and then up through our campus for drop-off and pickup, and we keep that separate from the bus traffic that arrives in the front, the north side of the building, south side of Pioneer Trail. And then, of course, the walkers are in the mix in between that, getting them out on the sidewalk at the end of the school day to get go in their direction.
Okay. I think we're willing to help, you know, it's just a
Yeah.
matter of funding and stuff.
Yeah.
So if we can do something, traffic and safety can approve something, we can get something interim going. I mean, if it's just painting some lines or putting up some signage, I mean, that's minimal cost to do getting something temporary until we can get something more permanent.
Well, we appreciate that from the school district for your consideration and certainly for Eric's efforts in working with us and giving us some ideas what might work.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds
Thank
good.
you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks, Kurt.
Thanks.
Yeah, I do have something similar.
Okay. Moving ahead, bids and contracts, bid award for 2017-25, replacement of 6 windows, Public Works.
And we bid to replace those windows, and while we were out there, we got pricing to prep, prime, and paint that blue awning. So that's an additional cost, it's an option that's on there. Low bid was GBH at a total cost of $12,985, and you can see them broken out there what they were individually. So I think Larry was wanting, did you find the money to pay for that awning, or? So the recommendation would be to award to GBH for the full contract price of $12,985.
Is that attached or something? I'm not seeing that.
She gave us a sheet.
You have a sheet,
I see 10,625.
And
and then plus the $2,360 for the painting, in total
I
is
see.
$12,985.
Seems like a lot, but windows are expensive.
Problem we got out there right now is the windows, they've been in there since the building was built. We get a lot of airflow around them. What we're trying to do is get in better insulated windows. It's mainly the windows in the offices, not including Eric's area back there, but towards the front of the building. It gets pretty drafty in there in the wintertime. So what we're trying to do is seal it up again. And the front canopy, we painted it probably 10, 15 years ago. Probably 15. I think it's still when Eric was, or Chris Yarnell was still there yet. And we do have the money in our budget. It's one of the things we proposed during the budget process last year. We added in the painting.
I'm okay with all of them, but Eric's, I mean, Eric, he should be out working, he doesn't,
His
a little cold, little hot.
I gotta go in one day, I gotta wear a hat and gloves, all that. The next day, I gotta wear shorts and t-shirts.
Well, he's walking so much, he's got knee problems.
Actually, his part's actually newer. The windows that were put in there were added a lot later than what the originals were.
Oh, well, let's see, he doesn't need.
Legal Eric.
He's our next bionic man. I'm good, Jeff.
Yeah, you got in your budget, so.
You guys good? We have a contract signed, Jen?
Yep.
I move that we award and sign the contract with GBH Builders for the replacement of 6 windows and the painting of the awning at Public Works.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 2016-30R1 Prisoner Transportation Services Renewal Discussion Contract Signing.
They had a 3% increase over next year, which took the mileage from, I think, $1.15 to $1.18. The Sheriff's Department, I think, did some checking, and it sounds like that's still competitive, as your recommendation was to sign the renewal.
This is just a renewal.
Yes.
Are we doing some of that in-house, or?
Yes, this is mostly out-of-state stuff.
Okay. I'm good. You guys good?
I'm good. Yeah.
Renewal contract.
I move that we sign the contract renewal with PTS of America for prisoner transportation services.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Contract Renewal 2, 2015-35, mats, mops, and towel rental and service.
Whenever I put this on the agenda, the intent was to renew with Aramark, since then I've had a discussion with Greg, and he is looking at the option to purchase our own mats and maintain them in lieu of paying, Aramark or somebody else to come in and take care of them. I gave you a handout. It's rough, but I wanted you to have just kind of something to see what we're looking at. If you just kind of want to ignore it, except for the far right column, that kind of shows the total that we came up with, that we think it would cost. I took a deduct there for the health department if we want to wait until they get settled into the new building. And then below that, you can see what we're currently paying for the 2017/2018 if we would renew the mat service, and how many years it would take to recoup the cost. So I don't know if Greg had anything to add, wanting to know your thoughts on that. I guess if you're willing to proceed with looking into purchasing our own, or if you'd rather stay with the service.
So if we bought our own, would we buy extra and swap them out like they do? And
Pretty well. Just, we're vacuuming them every day anyways. To me, it's a waste of money to, every 2 weeks, for them to throw new ones down that are already clean, we've already cleaned them.
But you wouldn't swap them out, you just vacuum and keep them clean, so
We'd
we
have
would
like
only
one or
have
two
as many
extra
as
in case something got dirty,
yeah.
yeah. I wouldn't have a 1-for-1 swap out, but I'd have an extra 3x5 or 4x6 in case one got dirty, we had to wash it. Just put it up.
What's the lifespan on something like that?
The company I'm looking at, talking with currently, and got prices from, they've got them out at the Winkler plant, they've been out there for over 10 years. Are you including those? And they're still not bad. So.
Something to note too, I should have mentioned, Public Works, because of the nature of what they do, they would stay with the mat service as is, so.
Yeah, ours during the winter time and sometimes during the spring and fall, when it's muddy, ours gets pretty filthy, so.
Because of the amount, we'd have to bid it if we did go that route. Just kind of wanted the feedback, and there's some conversations as far as ironing down the exact quantities and stuff that we need to go over with Greg, but
You didn't have Public Works on here though, right?
they're not included in the figures, correct?
Originally, I was gonna do this one building at a time, but then some other people said, let's just do everything, and that's now we're to the point where we have to bid it all, so.
Well, if you renew the contract with Aramark, you're locked in for a year. So that's a decision.
Well, if we decrease the amount of mats that we use with Aramark, I mean, is our cost gonna go up for Public Works
They
only?
said that they would hold them.
I think it's worth trying to purchase some of our own and see how it works.
So then that said, if we're gonna go that route, do we wanna go out for bid, or do we wanna do them
I think we
piece
probably
by
ought to
piece?
go out. for bid.
I think if you go out for bid, you need to specify exactly what you want.
Well, here's the thing, the ones that he wants are exclusive to Hilliard. So we could
Well-
do alternate equivalent,
That's fine.
but if we did, I'm saying we could do a sole source if we were gonna do that, but I think people would probably argue to that point.
Right? No, I wouldn't. I mean, I just specify that it's Hilliard, whatever, or equal, and it's gotta be an equal, so. And then that's up to us to decide if it's an equal. So, but I mean, if you don't specify, then you get everything under the sun, so.
Yeah, and that's generally how we handle it,
Right.
is to set the standard with a,
It's fine. That's what I would do. Cat's got his tongue today.
Yeah,
Trying to be nice.
Good by me.
yeah, it's good.
Equivalent alternative to what we have right now.
and if it's okay, I think I'll just bring this back next week and adjust the contract to reflect continued service with Public Works. But we're still doing the mops and the towels and stuff, aren't we? So I'm just gonna change the verbiage a little bit
Okay.
before we sign it.
Okay.
Works. Thank you.
Okay.
Unfinished business.
Unfinished business? No. New business? Accounts payable review?
There are about 5 invoices out there for today's date, if I could, utility bills. Of course, you might not see my hair looking that maybe.
They're not ready to approve, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time, Debbie. I move that we approve accounts payable pending review.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We were gonna go ahead and move ahead, but I think, are you our gentleman from, let's go ahead and we'll just follow our schedule then. Consider approving an order authorizing the issuance of limited general obligation bond, Parkview Meadows
How are you?
NID,
Good.
Series 2017 of Cole County, Missouri, prescribing the form and details of the bonds, providing for the levy and collection of annual assessment for the purpose of paying the principal and interest on said bonds as they become due, and authorizing certain other documents and actions in connection therewith. Heck of a deal.
It's a mouthful. Good morning, Commissioners. Do you all have a full copy of the order in front of you? I have
I think she sent us one, did she not?
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent. Yes, so as you had stated, this order in front of you would authorize the issuance of the county's limited general obligation bonds for the Parkview Meadows Neighborhood Improvement District project. Principal amount of $535,000. If you turn to Schedule 1 in the order, which I believe would be right after page 21, that essentially lays out the terms of the bonds, sets forth the principal amount. As you can see, kind of the stated maturity dates, the interest rates. Interest rates, as you can see, vary from 0.9% for that March 1, 2018 maturity all the way to 3%, with an average interest rate around 2.77%. So Emeritus, who was the underwriter of these bonds, was able to secure a very favorable interest rate for the county. And if you would turn to page 2, I think it's page 2 of Schedule 1.
Debbie, which email was that?
Hand me that copy.
Yeah,
that you've got.
I got hard copies.
Yeah.
I'll try to do
I
it.
think that might.
There we go.
Which one is it? Order final with exhibits?
If you got,
Or order version 6?
okay, great.
So was it 6:45 last night?
Yeah, which one is it? There's 4.
They ordered the first one, they're fine.
Okay.
The other ones are just, where she edited.
It just took me a second to get to it. What page are we on?
That's Schedule 1, which is technically page 22, I believe. So as you can see, always find it much easier to get a hard copy.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
find it on a
Appreciate
PDF
it.
can be tough. So on page 2 of Schedule 1, you can see in provision F, which basically describes how the proceeds of the bonds will be deposited, along with the $162,791.46 of prepayments from roughly 26 property owners located within the boundaries of the district, will be used to fund the debt service reserve for these bonds. As you can see in provision A, $518,000 approximately will be used to pay off the prior note of the county that was used to finance the construction of the improvements within Parkview Meadows Neighborhood Improvement District. And then provision C, the remaining balance will be used to pay cost of issuance along with reimbursing the county for approximately $995,000 in project costs that were paid for from county funds. And then also attached to the order are the bond purchase agreement, which is referenced as Exhibit B, and the federal tax agreement, which is referenced as Exhibit C. So the order would authorize the issuance of the bonds and the execution of bond purchase agreement and the federal tax agreement as well. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask away.
And I know Joy Howard is available for calls if you need her, but she just wanted you to know that in closing with Amherst, the bonding investment, it was 7 basis points below what the underwriters, which was a really good, excellent pricing for the county. And then in turn, these landowners get obviously that lower interest rate. She's calculating a lot fee, $473 of debt service per year.
I believe that's correct, yep.
Just in case you're interested in that.
473 per lot?
Per lot, yes, sir.
Per lot.
And assessments per year.
Wasn't that based on road frontage or
Just per lot is.
just
what I
per lot?
understood.
Okay.
What was the assessment for one?
473. Approximately, yeah. I think they're still kind of trying to figure out the most efficient way to
Assess each property.
each property, but it's approximately 473
But
per
we're still
year.
going to get that information to the collector too.
Yes, exactly.
So don't start.
Yeah, Jeff's gonna write an article tomorrow. And then reference all the mad people to Sam.
I think Parkview Meadow, they're pretty satisfied.
The project turned out really nice, so anyway.
That's great news.
Yeah.
Entrance,
Yeah.
really nice, so.
Come wintertime, I'm sure they'll be happy to have
Mm-hmm.
some of it.
Be happy when the snowplow goes down, so. Okay. All right, so Hayden, we need to approve this order with certain language, is that right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Kill a lot
Do
of
you have that on
trees.
certain,
This is the Marshall.
okay,
Okay.
good old Tony, taking care of us. Everybody good? Questions?
I'm good.
Confused? All right, I move that we approve the order authorizing the issuance of limited general obligation bonds, Parkview Meadows Neighborhood Improvement District, Series 2017 of Cole County, Missouri, prescribing the form and details of the bonds, providing for the levy and collection of annual assessments for the purpose of paying the principal of and interest on said bonds as they become due, and authorizing certain other documents and actions in connection therewith.
Second.
Any discussion?
We're done.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Excellent.
Thank you, sir.
That what you needed?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
That's all you need?
Well said, Chris.
I didn't get that last sentence.
Commissioners, will you be available after the meeting for signing sometime?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect,
There's no
excellent.
Yes.
selfies.
I'll refrain from saying. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, come on. Yeah. Oh. Okay, what everybody's been waiting for, County Commission to discuss recorder fees.
Yes, Carrie seems to think that bothers you every time that she wants to take a selfie with me.
My arms aren't on long enough to go in with.
So is that slowing you down, Eric, on working?
No, actually, he's doing a pretty good job.
Is he?
Yeah. His the transit.
Help your golf game.
We doing recorders fees here?
Yeah, we're doing, yeah, County Commission to discuss recorders fees.
Bottom line, we need to be charging it, right? All right,
Yeah.
move on. What do we got to discuss?
Jill's been looking into it, and I think bottom line is, yeah, we have to, so.
Okay.
Recorder has to charge the fee.
And are we making this official Ralph first of the year?
Ralph,
There's right here.
we moved him.
We can start today. We accept cash and checks already.
Well, there lies a problem. So we can have some type of a fund or something to fund that ahead of time, but I mean, we're not going to issue cash or checks every time we have something to record.
But for a transition period, we could look at January 1st.
But I mean, even at January 1st, I mean, we can't bring a check every time we want to record something.
Well, that'll
so-
be up for you to decide.
Okay.
You're going to have to, I mean, we've been talking about this, I've been talking to staff for over a year on this. So it's time we move forward as soon as possible.
Right.
Between now and January 1st, I doubt that there'll be very many.
No, and we've been talking, we would like, if we can move forward to the credit cards, we would like to be able to, when we bring it up there, have it filed that day. I had one case with a right-of-way a number of years ago where we didn't get it filed right away, and it was a lady that had like 9 or 10 kids. She passed away, was sole survivor, so I had to send that right-of-way document across the United States to get the right-of-way for it, because we had to get the kids all to sign, their spouses. One of them was even in the midst of a divorce. I had to get that spouse to sign. So, you know, we would like to have some method, you know, if it's credit card or whatever, when we get a signed document, we can bring it up and get it filed right then.
And we have credit cards on their side, they can use their purchasing cards to do that. It's the credit cards within the recorder's office that we're still working on implementing, so accepting credit cards, if you would.
We occupied our new workstations yesterday, so now we are ready to add credit card machines, but that will probably take a few days.
Don't we get charged to use a credit card?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Then why the hell are we gonna do that?
Well, we bid
That don't
it
make
out.
sense. We know it's gonna get paid, we're gonna do a transfer essentially, so why are we doing that? Just process it and we write a check, get it done. We do checks every 2
Well, they need it the day
weeks.
they file.
If I may, I have talked to the
We
auditor.
happen to know who the.
Well, then you ask him if we can make exceptions, because we were told no.
I have talked to the auditor with an idea. She and I have talked over an idea on how to make it work maybe easily, and that is that the county, cuts checks every 2 weeks, and if there's something that the county needs to record, hold on to it until the check is cut, and if there's an emergency, then use the credit card. And that way, it works. That would work within the county's existing system, and it would work within the recorder's existing system. And the credit card only comes into play if it's an emergency. Otherwise, the check is cut every 2 weeks too.
So you're gonna not record it until
No,
you get paid?
The county will, so the county would hold a document to record until it has a check.
The way I understand it, the day it's filed, he has to have cash to be able to check cash or some form of payment.
That's from some other entity. I mean, the money's already here. All we're doing is paying
The
ourselves to do
statute
this.
provides for, you can bill later.
Yeah, that's what I can see this
There's
being
that option in the statute.
one big mess.
Well,
Kristen came up, we were,
He has to record stuff.
we were talking about that, and,
There are the statutes do allow for 2 means of payment. And who was it? Larry? Larry's correct. We cannot accept a document for recording without the payment attached to it, part of it. But also, the statutes do allow for the recorder to bill monthly a political subdivision, such as yourselves. And the statutes also allow for the county to put a pool of money aside that the recorder draws from as needed for county documents being recorded. So there are 2 more options there.
That one I'm not sure about. We don't really like, people like prepaying for something or having a petty cash fund, if you would, which we spend.
I realize
try to
that.
get away from.
yeah.
We still do that at some, yeah, Parks does.
But I would like,
You
if
guys
Larry comes up and
prepay for water or
if he needs
something.
something recorded
Yeah,
that day, I want it recorded that
We
day.
prepay
and,
some of our utilities, but I mean, as far, we don't have petty cash no more.
Right, but I mean, we prepay for some things, so, I mean, we could set up a fund and he could draw off that fund or whatever, and then then it'd be up to you to audit that fund or whatnot, so I don't know.
I'll have to check with Kristen for sure how that would be. 'Cause it-
Yeah, that was one of her ideas, and she was even saying maybe we could do the fund with the clerk, but, yeah, we just have to
Still
look
gotta
at
have
it.
a check.
Yeah,
Well, I don't necessarily have a
That's what
problem.
they're saying, they gotta have a check. That's
Well, what you want
ridiculous.
us to do was anybody that needed to record it, and go through the clerk's office and then have only one budget affected by it. And then that clerk would file it with the recorder. She was unable to be here today.
yeah, I know, she's, child got a tooth pulled.
I don't have a problem.
Details of it.
Me personally, as far as Public Works is concerned, I don't have a problem putting it into a fund where we can draw upon, if it's, $250, we just, when it's drawn upon, we write a check, we just try and maintain it.
Over the last 5 years, the county averages $100 a month in recording fees. That's over a 5-year history.
But we have these unusual things like this NID that we're going to do here very shortly. We're going to have 104 in one lump sum to record these liens, so,
Oh, my.
yeah. 104, you know, we just never know. But
Yeah.
obviously, we passed that cost on, assuming there would be a cost.
And it's kind of the way with our projects, you know, like when, just take the subdivision by us, we're in process now of collecting right-of-ways there, you know, where we're needed. You know, it's not that much, but if we have a gravel road upgrade, there'll be maybe 15 to 30, you know, landowners along that road that we, and it's not every year, it's sporadic, but it's something we know coming ahead, we can try and plan ahead on.
Well, I'm like Jeff, we're not gonna use credit cards on that, because that cost us 2% or, you know.
I mean, it'd be different if it was, we're talking about, you know, several $1,000s a month or something. We're talking $100 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, I would think there'd be some better way that you could do it and charge it or whatever, so, but, I mean, you guys have obviously worked on it and can't come to a solution, so, anyway.
And I think our big question was, do we have to charge, do we not? Clear, he can charge, so now it's just a matter of, now that his desks are in, getting the credit card system in there, and then working with Christian through the budget and figure out where we want and how we want to pay for the charges. So, we can come back to you guys with the solution, and if we can't work out a solution, then we'll definitely come back to you guys.
I mean, in my opinion, that the fund stays under GR and we just pay it out of GR, but,
And that was an option too that we talked about.
so, I mean, it's $1,200, so, for a year, roughly.
Yeah, we could leave it in 127 instead of putting it in the county clerk. In general account. So we'll just take that.
Okay.
Yeah, we
let's-
just need
Let's
to-
just work it out.
So we'll work it out so that it's most advantageous for everybody, and we don't have a, yeah,
I think we all agree it's gonna be paid, it's gotta be paid.
yeah,
Let's just figure it out.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pennies, we're gonna just bring you rolls and rolls of pennies.
Uh-oh.
Since you said cash,
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
pennies,
Uh-oh.
not rolls.
Pennies.
You have to roll them then.
That's your favorite commissioner.
I'm gonna pay Larry like that.
We've had customers bring in loose change in a box and pay that way.
I want Greg Gaffney to do that.
He can't count that
I
high.
know.
Once you pass his fingers, he's old.
And we don't lose the shirt off.
Okay. Well, we will pay you, sir.
All right, thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's keep moving ahead. Health Department WIC position discussion.
So I don't know if you guys know, but Karen Hinches, who is one of our WIC certifiers, is retiring.
Thank you.
So anytime we have a vacant position, we like to look to see if it's best to refill it as is, or if it's time to make a change. So Linda passed out a paper for you. She has an idea how to make the position more efficient and get more bang for our buck, so to speak. So I'll let her explain it, because she is the WIC master.
So the current WIC certifier position, we'd like to restructure that into a combination of WIC certifier and our current part-time IBCLC lactation consultant. So that would be restructured into those two components, and then the lactation consultant's position would not be refilled.
So the
that
part-time.
The part-time position. And so there would not a need to subsidize the position because the budget already supports it.
The WIC budget.
The WIC
There would be
budget
no
specifically.
county money.
Yeah.
So is there a savings then?
Yeah.
Yeah, because right now, the vacant WIC certified position with salary and benefits is around 43, and the part-time is around 29, and we're gonna go to 48, so.
Okay.
We'll
So you're gonna
eliminate a
save
part-
about 24,000?
Yes.
Right, if you count salary and benefit. Well, the part-time person doesn't get any benefits,
Right.
but yes. And that way, if, like right now, our lactation consultant is just there part-time, she's not there every day. So if we have one that's full-time, we can serve more clients that way. If they're not checking people in, they can be providing consultation on their lactation issues. It's a more effective use of staff also.
It's better cross-trained. They can
Yeah.
float to whatever's needed.
Okay.
I think one person will be able to do both. Okay. Good by me.
Good by me. You're. Good by you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
This time.
Health Department MOU with DHSS.
Right, so this is just our annual renewal of our memorandum of understanding to be able to get the information off their server to issue birth and death certificates. Every time we hit their system, it's like 24 cents. We get $15 for a birth or death certificate. It's a good deal.
Yeah.
That amount is set by statute. We did not set that.
Okay.
Obviously, a signature. And Jill did approve it.
Jill, it's okay with it? Yeah, look at.
What? Is this just for birth and death certificates?
Yeah, it's for their vital record system.
Okay. Okay, I move that we sign the MOU with DHSS for the birth and health data, or birth and death data.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Interlocal agreement between the City of Jefferson and Cole County 2017 JAG grant.
This is just the agreement that the city has the JAG grant and we get a portion of it. This year, our portion is $5,201.60. We plan to get light bars with this money.
Get what?
Light bars for the vehicles.
Oh, okay, light bars. Okay. Need a signature?
We do need a signature.
I move that we approve the interlocal agreement between the City of Jeff and Cole County for the 2017 JAG grant.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Assigning of surplus titles for Public Works.
We sold a couple trucks on Gov Deals from Public Works, a 2001 and 2003 Chevy half-ton. The 2003, we collected $1,260, and for the 2001, we collected $833. These are the titles.
What were the totals again?
Chris, really?
Can't remember that?
937.12.
833 was our portion, and then 1260.
More than trucks out.
And then Gov Deals collected 12% on top of that, but that was our portion.
That was just a couple half tons or something?
Yeah.
A little bit of rust. Just a little bit,
Little
yeah.
bit.
They look pretty good.
We've got one other trailer title to bring to you, but we've been unable to locate it. We're applying for a new. So I'm not sure what happened, if it's lost in RN or if it was lost up here. So we used to keep all the titles out there at our place, so.
I'd say in 01 and 03, we got our money's worth out of them.
Yeah, if you've seen the trucks, they were by far used, used well.
I move that we sign the surplus titles.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I think, is that it? By golly. Do we have any other issues to come before the commission?
I would encourage everyone to get their flu shot. We're already starting to see cases,
Yeah.
which is really early, so that's not a good sign. So there's, yeah, if you can't make it
Yeah.
Thursday, just come by the health department and we'll be taken care of.
So y'all can stick it to us. That's what you want.
Give him his in his cheek.
Cheek.
No, they smile a little bit when they do it anyway, so.
They'll probably ask you about budget and then be like,
I always look at the size of the needle first. So.
Do we have different sized needles?
We could work on that.
Yes, you get the biggest one they have for me.
Sure, it's double.
Did Richard Pearson talk to you about the planning commission? He's gonna basically be retiring in April, so we need to start looking for somebody to fill his spot. And I told him he couldn't leave the planning commission until he found a replacement. He didn't care. So the good thing is it gives us plenty of time to try to find somebody, but they have to be in the unincorporated area of that township. I don't even remember which one he was in. Is that Marion?
Probably.
I think it might be Marion.
He's got one person in mind that he mentioned, and I'll let you
Yeah.
check on that. Does
The planning commission meet much anymore?
Yeah, they meet, planning commission's approval every month.
Every month?
Even during deer season.
Yeah.
I think we need to change the time, especially during deer season, because that's getting right in there. It's the wrong time. It's 5:30 Tuesday nights.
5:15.
Oh, that's wrong. It's late. So.
Is there a reason that you guys meet monthly, or?
We have that, it comes in that much for planning. It's either plats or, you know, something to that effect. It's usually subdivision plats, one way or the other. And once in a while, we have where we cancel, but most of the time, they usually don't last very long. But they do meet monthly.
Believe me, I've tried to figure out a way to approve this without coming in here for a 5-minute meeting. We've had 5-minute meetings where we've approved a plat and we were gone, so. But the good thing is with it being at 5:15 that you come in straight from work and then you can still get home. It's too late for deer hunting though, after time change.
Okay.
So.
I'll see if I can't maybe come up with somebody too, so.
Okay, clerk's office can get you a list of people that are, I guess, registered, but no, he done left, but they're outside of the incorporated areas.
Probably in that township.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
We've done that a couple times. I know when we had a problem out in the Taos area finding people, we got a list.
Yeah, we got a bunch of volunteers to do it, but they all live inside of Taos, Wardsville, St. Thomas, so.
I got mail. DNR to interested parties from Chris Weberg, Director, Water Protection Program, subject draft fiscal year 2018 intended use plan, drinking water state revolving fund loan program, meeting September 21st, Gasconade Camp Conference Room. But yeah.
Well, it doesn't say revolving fund, sometimes they can use those for on-site system.
I don't know. I got, they liked us, they sent me 2 of them. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I'll take one for the minutes.
Okay. Then I got a letter from Missouri Enterprise, and they want us to declare October 6th Manufacturing Day in Cole County. Sample of the proclamation, but I think we've kind of decided unless somebody's here to accept the proclamation, we don't really do much. You guys want to declare October 6th Manufacturing Day in Cole County?
If they have somebody come up here, so you
Yeah,
can take a selfie with them.
I will. I will contact them. And that's all I've got.
Could have that President's Roundtable or whatever, that chamber organization come up here that's a group of manufacturers, kind of the CEOs from those different manufacturers. Maybe we can present it to all of them that way. On that or something. I mean, you talk to Sean or something and see.
Yeah, because they've got the proclamation written. So we just fill in what we need. I might call Sean and see, and I will contact them. Good idea.
Full of good ideas, aren't I? Yeah.
Anything else?
I just don't share with you the bad ones.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Anything else? No? Motion to recess until 4:30 PM?
Is that a motion?
Yes.
Okay, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You